live and on your side. This is WSAV News 3 today at 11.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kim Gusby. Thank you for joining us on WSAV News 3 today at 11. Here's a live look out over Tybee Island on this Monday morning. Storm Team 3 meteorologist Alyssa Carsley is outside in Taylor Square with a look at our forecast first. Good morning, Alyssa.
Hey, good morning, Kim. Well, it's still warm. It's still very muggy out here. It's been tracking our temperatures with no big change, at least for today, comparing it to the sizzling week we were tracking over the last 2 weeks. Currently outside 88 degrees, but notice that feel like temperature is still in the upper 90s. So already feeling like 99 degrees here in Savannah, 104 in Darien, and up to 102 across Hilton Head, as well as in Beaufort. So for today, no big change in terms of our temperature, but we are back to tracking more rain on the way, all thanks to this cold front that's beginning to stall out just a little bit just off to our west. It will continue to bring in that moisture, and that's what's going to allow for isolated rain showers and thunderstorms throughout the rest of this afternoon, continuing into this evening. But our high temperatures still back well above average into the upper 90s in spots, especially south of I-16. So for today here in Savannah, we're at 96 degrees, 97 degrees in Glenville, and 98 degrees in Jessup and Darien. But that's just for today, because with that cold front stalling out, it continues to bring in the moisture and just a little bit of extra cloud cover all the way through the end of the week that will start to help our temperatures just a bit more. We'll talk about that coming up in the complete Storm Team 3 forecast.
Thank you, Alyssa. Topping our news this morning, jury selection is underway for the final defendant connected to the death of a Bluffton High School student more than 5 years ago.
For the last 4 years, I've been listening to other parents tell me how they want their kids home when I have to go to a cemetery to see my child.
Messiah Anderson is facing one charge of murder in the death of DJ Fields. Fields' mother asked a judge to deny bond for Anderson. Investigators say Anderson was one of 3 people in a car who opened fire on Bluffton Parkway in March of 2021. Fields was killed and 2 others were hit. Investigators say the gunfire was intended for someone else. 4 other people have been sentenced in this case. 2 shooters, Jimmy Green and Ty Cheneyfield, are already serving their sentences. Green was sentenced to 40 years in prison, while Cheneyfield received life. Shania Void and Jaden Void, who were accessories to the crime, were sentenced to 25 and 12 years in prison, respectively. WSAV's Low Country Bureau Chief Andrew Davis is inside the courtroom. He'll have a recap of today's developments beginning this afternoon on First News at 4. Making headlines this morning, a trade war between the United States and Canada is escalating. President Donald Trump says he's putting a 50% tax on $20 billion of imports from Canada. As Washington correspondent Vinay Simlat shows us, after the back and forth, the Canadian Prime Minister says the relationship between the 2 countries has significantly changed.
That America is trying to break us so they can own us.
The Canadian Prime Minister says he walked away from negotiations with the U.S. after President Donald Trump sounded optimistic on Friday.
We should be able to have a deal with Canada.
Prime Minister Mark Carney said the U.S. demanded too much. Because of the failed talks, President Trump imposed 50% tariffs on billions of dollars of Canadian imports on cheese, roses, hockey sticks, and whiskey.
We cannot accept what they've offered, and we will not give what they've asked. We're going to hit back.
President Trump fired back on Truth Social, writing Canada wants the benefits of being a state without being one.
And beef is now coming down very rapidly.
And with beef prices climbing to record highs, the president says he'll pause tariffs on imports of 300,000 metric tons of ground beef. Senator Tim Sheehy says it'll harm our ranching families. Senator Pete Ricketts says flooding the market with lower quality beef compromises Nebraska farmers and ranchers.
I love the ranchers. They've done a fantastic job, but they admit that we need a little help, and in order to get the prices down.
It's a smart decision.
That was Vinay Simlat reporting. Analysts say concerns over both the New World screwworm and parasite that can hurt cattle in droughts have affected the size of the cattle herd in the United States, causing the spike in beef prices. Opponents say importing beef will hurt the ranchers who are responsibly trying to grow the herd. In our community report this morning, the Savannah branch of the NAACP had a very special guest to its monthly meeting. Chatham County Sheriff Richard Coleman was the featured presenter at the organization's meeting Sunday at Bethlehem Missionary Baptist Church on May Street. Sheriff Coleman took the stage to update the community on issues regarding the sheriff's office, including community safety, efforts to reduce crime, the county detention center, and ways residents can work with his department to better protect neighborhoods.
As a law enforcement official and a law enforcement community, we're here to protect and serve. We're here to do our jobs. We want people to be safe. We don't want people to live in fear, and we want people to get involved and work cohesively with the law enforcement community that we can move forward together. And let the community know and let the criminals know, if you're going to be here, I'm going to be here too. We're not backing down. We're not moving out the way. We're not going to stop until change has come.
Sheriff Coleman also said he's received plenty of feedback about the direction of his department and wants to go back into neighborhoods to find out the best ways to move forward with his office. Stay with us. You're watching WSAV News 3 today at 11. We'll be right back.